The true Christian life is a demanding one, and those who want to live for God must take time to pray. I repeat, the true Christian life is a demanding one, and those who want to live for God must take time to pray. Those who live close to God do not fabricate excuses. Wow, that's a strong word. Those who live close to God do not fabricate excuses. Satan must no longer victimize us with entangling excuses. We must place blame where blame is due on lack of prayer. We dare not neglect this important duty, hoping other Christians will carry the load. Pray daily and watch the effect on the satanic spirit of rationalization or excuse making. So says Dick Eastman again. Think about that. God's heart must break when he hears all the excuses that we come up with. You know, in those scriptures I gave you in Luke, they say, I must needs go. I cannot come. No, it wasn't that they had to go. They didn't want to go, or they wanted to go to avoid the invitation. And they say, I cannot come. No, they could. They didn't want to come. So let that not be true of us, that we find excuse. Well, I like to pray, but I cannot because of this. No, oftentimes it's we can, but we won't. Or I must do this when it's not we must, we choose to. Okay, here's another great quote when it comes to excuses. We're talking about excuses. There's another great quote. This is from Richard Housby. He said, I believe he was a chaplain in the U.S. Senate. He said, one day we fail to pray because our head aches. No, this isn't Housby. This is another unknown author. He said, one day we fail to pray because our head aches. The next, we fail to pray because it has ached. And three more lest it should ache again. Ouch, hallelujah. Now, Housby said this: the carnal mind will always instinctively and automatically mobilize every possible reason it can possibly conceive for not praying at a particular time. For example, you're too busy. Your mind is too preoccupied. Your heart is not inclined toward prayer. Later on, you will have more time. Your mind will be more calm and collected, and you will be able to pray in a more devotional frame of mind. Before we know it, the entire day is gone, and we have not had a single quiet hour alone with Christ. He said we make all these excuses why we can't do it then, can't do it now, and then next thing we know, the day's gone. We haven't spent any time with God. And then oftentimes people lay down in their bed and say, Lord, good night. Bless me, Lord. Me, my wife, us, my two kids, us four, no more. Good night. And they fall asleep. Satan uses every means available to destroy the Christian's prayer life. Forces of good and evil contend for the world. Yet we hold back from closets of prayer. Our lips are sealed. Our hands hang limply by our side, and we hinder the very cause we claim to believe in so deeply. Prayer lives suffer severely because of the multitude of excuses which are conjured up. No library could contain the list of irresponsible excuses man makes to keep from prayer. He said, if you gathered all the excuses we come up with why not to pray or why we can't pray, why we can't pray daily or why we don't pray, he said, no library could hold them. We must become surgeons, cutting out this cancer of excuses hindering prayer, writes again Dick Eastman. And he goes on, bundles of manufactured excuses are in effect an avalanche that must be removed before any progress can be made on the road to prayer. Excuses kill effectiveness for God and render the prayer lives of Christians helpless. Prayer is the highest order of business, for it links a powerless human to the creative force of God's sovereign power. Woo. Prayer is the highest order of business. I wonder how many of us really believe that. And then, if we do, evidence it by giving time to prayer. He said prayer links a powerless human to the creative forces of God's sovereign power. When people cease to pray, no matter the reason, Christians backslide, youth rebel, preachers leave pulpits, mission fields close, and denominations die. One unknown author said this: some excuses for not praying are tenseness, weariness, and pain. Some excuses for not praying are tangled lives and broken homes. Some excuses for not praying are anxious fears of many sorts. Some excuses for not praying are boredom, lack of time, and pride. Some excuses are not for not praying are beautifully articulated. All excuses for not praying are good for nothing. Strong stuff, but hey, if it helps motivate us to pray, it's worth it, right? Condemnation, no. Conviction, yes. I mean, this isn't to condemn any of us, but this may convict us that, hey, I need to shake myself, get out of bed, and pray. One person said the biggest miracle was not God raising Lazarus from the dead, it was him raising me from the bed. So I'd get up and pray. So once again, we'll stop there and continue this tomorrow. Be sure to tune in, like it on YouTube, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It'll come right to your phone every day. Encourage you to share this with people. I mean, we all know people that need to be encouraged in their prayer life. I know I do. We all do. So let's spread the good word. Let's spread the encouragement and the motivation. We'll see you tomorrow. Shalom. God bless you.